how to be part
That's
of
a
the
very
project.
good idea. That's a very good idea indeed.
So this
yes.
is a new idea which we are, diffusing throughout the country. So I'm expecting that, particularly at the feast, many, many small children will be coming with shares that they didn't buy it, but their mothers and their father, particularly their mothers,
Yes.
instead of giving them money, they are giving them as a gift, maybe 1 share, 2 shares, 3 shares, as much as they have the income to do. So this is also part of the project that we are doing. Last but not least, we are helping to train and train the boys and the girls, particularly the girls, the youth, who are going to be taking the job opportunities in the canal. And our training is different from the other kinds of training because we don't only train the youth technical training, but we have a component which we call social training. What do we mean by social training? That you have to be a good employee. You have to be a good worker. You don't lose so much time talking to your colleagues on the job. You don't use the phone too much. You don't waste any of the material that you are working. You go and you feel that you are obliged to give the maximum that you can give, because there is a difference between workers. You have a worker who is a very productive, and you may have a worker who is not that productive. We want all those who go to work on the canal to be 100% productive, which will really, this will be, I'm not saying a favor, but this is what we should feel about this big project.
But perhaps also educating those people about the importance of teamwork, because this is something that we sometimes face a problem here in Egypt, for a person to work in a team or within a team, and how collective work,
Exactly.
collaboration makes all the difference.
Part of the training also how to be a part of a team, because they say that we are not used to work as teams.
It's
We are
true.
very good as individuals.
Yes, it's true.
And this is what we have to learn. So this is what we call social training. And not every place understand, but because we are specialists in the social field and we care about it, that our NGO has quite experience in doing that. And they really, NGOs are very close to the people. We don't have the bureaucracy of any of the government bureaucracies. We don't. We are simple. We have our mechanism, which are very close to the people. The people interact with us very easily. So it's different from the government big bureaucracy.
Yes. Okay, now, Dr. Huda, women are known to support each other. It's something that women do around the world. So if Egyptian women are being supportive to the government in this mega project, what would be the role of Arab women in this regard? Do you think that some Arab women, Arab business women, could play a part in this project, in supporting the Egyptian women or supporting this Egyptian national project?
I'll tell you, and I'm glad to tell you, that the General Federation of Arab Women, which Huda Sha'rawi has built in 1946, came back to Egypt. She established that, and there are about 20 Arab countries. They are members of this federation. The federation came back to us, and I'm proud to say I'm the president of this federation now. And we had a meeting, and they are very enthusiastic to support Egypt, particularly at this time. I'll give you just one example. When I told them that we are going to visit the Canal Suez, they suggested that some of them, maybe not of all the countries, will come with us to show the support of the Arab countries to the project. So, inshallah, we have, talked and connected with President Mamish, who is the chief of the project, and probably will have a visit to the place within a week, maximum 2. And some of the women who are going to visit with us are Arab women, to show their support. So your idea
That's
is well
fantastic.
taken with us.
That's fantastic. Now, you told me earlier that you talk to women across the country regarding how they can support this project. But I want to know from you, what was their reaction? How did you feel? What was the outcome of your meetings?
Very, very supportive, and very, I have to say, very successful. Sometimes I'm really very positively surprised by what the women, the simple women, would say. And some of them, they said, you know, we love Sisi, and whatever he thinks about, we think that he's positive and he wants good to the country, and we should support. And some of the women said that, you know, lower middle class women whom they are not, I'm not saying very poor, but they don't have that much money. They will say, I think yani, I can sell my ring and buy maybe just one share. Would that be enough? I said, yes. It doesn't mean, it's not necessarily that we want you to buy 10 or 20 shares. If each person would buy just one share, we are about 85 million people. So that means
It's
for
the
one
idea
share,
of participation
yeah,
itself.
it's accumulation, and it's the feeling, and it is the loyalty that you feel towards your country. And it's amazing how women are, you know, feeling very, very close to what this project is going to bring to Egypt. And the nice thing that it's bringing hope,
Yes.
you know, because we know that we have problems. It's not very positive to hear all the time about this is the problem and going on. But when you hear that, okay, we cannot deny, we have to be transparent. Everybody knows that things are not 100% in good condition. But although there are these problems, but this is the hope. And we are going into the map, you know, the roadmap is going on, and we are going to arrive at the goals of the revolution, which is social justice, which is democracy, and so on. And buying shares, and everybody is contributing, this is democracy.
Yes.
This is real democracy.
Yes,
Yeah.
very well. Speaking about the roadmap,
Yeah.
on the political front now, Egypt has been, as you mentioned, moving forward with the roadmap, and the upcoming step or the final step in the roadmap would be holding the parliamentary elections. And during the press conference that we mentioned earlier, your assistant or the deputy of the chairperson of the Egyptian Feminist Union, if I may say the title correct, Sahar Osman, she mentioned that the union is getting ready for the parliamentary elections, and that would be through training programs for working women and advocating the role of women in the upcoming period, so that they would be able to run for the parliamentary elections. How do you see that?
We have a big campaign, and we are aiming to support 100 women to get into the coming parliament. How? Through two things. As you said, we are training them, and also this is a special type of training.
Yes.
We usually, we are different, because there are a lot of people who are training, but our training is that we are training what we call the director of the election campaign.
Yes.
This is technical training, and we are training those directors and training the candidates how to work with the directors. This is one thing, but
Yes.
the most important thing that we are collecting money, we are having a fund,
Yes.
and we're still collecting the money to support the candidates, not by cash. We're not going to give them cash in their hands, but we are going to cover some of the costs of the election campaign,
Okay.
because it's costly. You know, we hear sometimes about people paying I don't know how much money, and women usually are not that rich, and the candidates are not that rich to pay that much money.
Yes.
So the union, through the fund that's collecting, is going to support the 100 women to cover such like publications.
Yes.
Like we are going to organize meetings for them, loudspeakers, their picture to be distributed, volunteers to help them. So we are financially and non-financially helping the 100 candidates.
Well, actually, this is a very important topic. I hope that we can get a chance to elaborate more on it, the role of the Egyptian Feminist Union in supporting women in the upcoming parliamentary elections. But for now, our time is up, unfortunately. Thank you very much, Dr. Huda Badran, for coming today and talking to us about the role of Egyptian women in supporting the new Suez Canal project. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the end of this week's episode of Women's World. We'll be meeting you again next week, same time. Until then.